Welcome in, everybody. Fantasy Throwback. Yay! It's a lively fantasy football game show. You never heard of such a thing because it never existed before, but here it is. Every Wednesday night. Let me do a couple of plugs, and we'll dive right into the introductions. Fantasy Throwback every Wednesday night right here, wherever you're seeing this, the Kostaki Facebook fan page. That's the right phrase. I have one gig on the calendar that's definitely going to happen, and it's next week, Thursday night, May 7th, Nowhere Comedy Club. Where's my little, I want to do the thing with this special backdrop, hilarious promotional thing. Boom, Nowhere Comedy Club. Yeah, it's the world's only virtual comedy club. It's super cool. It's basically a giant Zoom call, but it works somehow. It's interactive, it's live, it's real. And that's next week, Thursday night, next week, May 7th. Quick Snaps, the podcast, always available. We're doing off-season ones as well. And as long as we're doing this, you guys want to help me pick a backdrop for the show? These are the top three on the board right now. Stand-up show? Yeah. Or more of a... Oh.
That's formal.
Or more of a TV blue, or we could do this sort of. That's too much, right?
No, like you're about to get run over.
Some version of this.
You got something kind of football-y?
Yeah. I got this.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah. Too much.
Little cross promotion.
And there's the normal me. All right, that's enough promotional stuff. You get the deal. So Fantasy Throwback. I have with me tonight Josh the Statmeister, first contestant, one of the first two contestants to ever be on Fantasy Throwback. And he said, among other things, you need a stat guy. And I go, yeah. He goes, I'll be your stat guy. And I said, yeah, let's do that. And he's been great. So welcome back to Josh. Thank you for coming back, Josh.
Thank you for having me, Kostaki. Always a pleasure.
All
and
right.
I'll be helping you guys out with the scoring and a little bit of graphics and the draft. So
he does some legwork. There's some doing here. So thanks, man. All right, the two contestants. We got old friends of mine. Actually, in some ways, you're my new friends. I've only known you for 30 years. This is Keith Cocking and Stephen Lorca. Both of these characters I met my senior year of Reed Hall. I'm a little bit older, although it doesn't look it based on my face.
It's the bearded show.
I've known these guys forever. These are great friends. Thank you guys for coming on. Also, guys who have been longtime participants in our Old Boys Fantasy League. So that's my two questions for you guys. Tell me briefly about your sort of NFL fandom and how that came to be, and then your sort of fantasy history. Keith, you want to go first?
Yeah. My NFL fandom, I've grown up in Atlanta, so I'm a Falcons fan, which means I'm a huge Georgia Bulldogs fan.
Uh-huh.
And I also like the Falcons as well. I can't say I'm diehard like you are, Kostaki, but I do like them. As far as fantasy, oh man, I don't know when we started it, but it was in our No Cowboys League. I probably just lost a lot of folks, but yeah, we have the No Cowboys League where you're not allowed to draft any Cowboys at all, right?
It's still the rule. Not only is it the rule that you can't have a Cowboy, if a team trades a player of yours, like Amari Cooper I had 2 years ago, to the Cowboys, you have to drop him immediately. It's very painful.
Oh. That sounds painful.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like it happened to you. Yes, I was in the league for a long, long time, and then I got a 5-year-old, but I ended up bouncing a little bit after.
But you played fantasy in that league for like 15 years, right?
I played forever, and I just want to say, Peyton Manning, I love you, sir. Thank you very much. We had many, many good years.
It was
and
a keeper
Julio
league.
Well, yeah.
That's what's great about a keeper league. You get to draft Peyton Manning when he's a young boy and keep him for 20 years on your team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. I actually had Megatron for every down, every snap of his NFL career on the team that would eventually be called Megatronomopolis, and eventually won a championship, if I'm not mistaken, in a Super Bowl against Keith Cocking.
Yeah, I won one championship, and I remember one year, oh man, I had it set up to where the Atlanta Falcons and the Georgia Bulldogs, I think, were in the championship hunt. and I was in 2 fantasy leagues. Both my teams were in the finals, and all of them shit the bed. Like right at the end, I'm like, "Ah!" So close, but I got nothing.
Being a football fan.
Yeah, it
Always
was a lot of fun.
beautiful. All right, Stephen, tell us about your football connections.
Oh, wow. So I too am from Atlanta, so I got that whole Atlanta connection. Started following the Falcons, that Barkowski started Jeff Van Note era. Then that's kind of really, I've stuck with the Falcons for the most part, and then tends to be whoever my fantasy quarterback is.
Right.
I float
Yeah, that's
around
right.
between
Yeah.
rooting for them and rooting for the Falcons.
That's right.
Yeah.
Steven, are you a UGA guy as well then?
I am, yeah. Keith was
Okay.
actually my
Surrounded again. So
Oh.
I'm a Georgia Tech guy.
Yeah, that's
Been
right.
all Georgia guys on all these fantasy throwbacks.
Most of my fantasy buddies are from that University of Georgia era. Yeah, that's right.
And I'm actually, I'm a Georgia Tech fan. We're not that great at football, so we don't have much to root for. So I actually just like to root against Georgia. It's kind of like my primary college
Yeah, it's understandable.
experience. And
familiar with you.
inspired by this Cowboys band that I heard about, I proposed in my league, because we're all Georgia Tech guys, that we should have a no Georgia player ban.
Well, how do you have any running backs then? Because all the good running backs
It would be a problem.
are from the University of
Yeah.
Georgia.
No Gurley, no Chubb.
That's right.
They're all over the place. They
Don't
keep
even
coming out.
know.
Too.
We are
Yeah.
talking about Georgia Tech, no Gurley.
Swift's going to
Yeah.
make a dent. What about Calvin Johnson? Do you root for guys who were at Tech and when they could move on into the
Oh my
NFL?
God, Calvin is the man. Now, unfortunately, his career, as great as it was spoiled a little bit by having a Georgia guy throw to him for his whole career, Matt Stafford, whom I absolutely hate. He's the top of my hate list.
It didn't even occur to me that you were going to say that next. That's
Oh my
really
gosh.
hating Georgia.
I just like to point out that I'm sure this has been said before that the stat guy is from Tech.
Yeah, that's right.
Appropriate.
It's very fitting.
Yeah.
It's very fitting. All right, I think we're ready to introduce the game. Speaking
All right.
of Matt Stafford to Calvin Johnson, you want to share a screen there and introduce the situation?
Yes, let me pull it up.
We got a great game, guys. It's 2013 Lions-Eagles Week 14.
Stafford.
So there's your Stafford to Megatron stack that you can build if you like. This game is notable because it is a ridiculous Snowfest game. I've been wanting to do a snow game since we came up with this crazy idea. So keep that in mind when drafting. And just a quick note on the fantasy numbers. It's basic PPR scoring, right? It's a point per reception. So guys who catch the ball a lot are worth a little more. And fantasy throwback chops the quarterback stats roughly in half so that it sort of brings all the players in line with each other. So you can have 2 quarterbacks or no quarterbacks. Just pick the best 4 guys that you can get your hands on, and we'll be off and running. Every week it's a tradition. I forget to figure out how to pick who goes first. All right, here we go. We'll draw a K and an S on a piece of paper. And Steven, you tell me right or left hand.
All righty. Left.
Left is S for Steven.
All right.
So it's a serpentine draft. Steven picks first, and then Keith picks twice. All right.
So I can technically pass it to Keith, right? And I picked twice?
But Mike did pass it, which is the weirdest choice ever. Didn't pick Adrian Peterson and somehow still got him in the next round.
Well, if he skips, I would still get 2, right?
Right.
Stop skipping. You won. Just pick one.
I'll go first. Oh man. I'm actually gonna go with Nick Foles, even though I like Matt Stafford.
Nick Foles, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Brett Selleck, Megatron, Nate Burleson. Joik Bell is the running back there. He was gigantically useful for fantasy for about, 6 months once. Haven't heard much from him since. But these are some great fantasy names to choose from. All right. Steven picks the prior golden era of Nick Foles as a Philadelphia Eagle. All right, Keith.
Isn't
got
this
two-
known
Keith
as
is on the board, on the clock.
Isn't this known as the Foles hamstring game?
I haven't had the balls to do that yet. Set up some players where it's just like the two guys are out like in the first series.
That would be fun. I hope you didn't do it for this one. You know what? I'm going to go with the good friend in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to pick Calvin Johnson.
Oh,
All right.
yes.
Megan
Good
Shaw,
choice.
Dylan Keith.
Yeah. that is a
And
good
then I
choice.
get to pick again.
Yes.
Give me some McCoy, please, sir.
Oh,
Ooh.
those. That feels like some juicy first two picks to me.
Yeah.
All right,
Well-
Stephen. Now you get two. So go crazy.
Oh man, I
Plenty of
cannot
big
think of
names
how
on the board.
Stafford was doing that year, but I do like the idea of having maybe two quarterbacks. All right, I'm gonna go with Stafford.
Ooh, staph infection.
Yeah, he is throwing to Johnson, right, Calvin? And then
Bulldog, Yellow Jacket.
it's Snow. I'm gonna go with is it Selleck the tight end?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
All right. That old Foles Selleck stack. That old fantasy trick everyone used to pull. All right,
Well, this is
Keith,
why I
you're
was horrible fan or am horrible fan.
up.
Is this the game show with the phone a friend option?
No, we don't have.
Oh, all right.
Whoever you don't pick goes to Steven. So you
I
get to pick the
know.
last two guys.
I know. I'll take Burleson, please, for
All right.
100. And
Want
I'll just
Deshaun Jackson or Joik Bell?
I'm going to keep it balanced. Give me Jackson, please.
All right.
All right, ring that bell for me, baby.
All right. Joik
I see
Bell.
some questions on the Facebook chat. People want to know what you're drinking, especially Steven with the. It looks like it's either moonshine or some kind of red home
Kool-Aid.
brew.
Kool-Aid.
It's a little cranberry and vodka.
Oh, nice.
Cranberry vodka. Nice.
That's right.
How about you, Keith?
I can't tell you what it is, but it rhymes with schmeckila. Actually, it's just water. Cheers.
Yeah, I got
Well, you brought out the manly men today with the cranberry vodka and water, huh?
Mhm. Josh, you got something in your
I got-
crazy thermos?
That's nothing special. This is the good old club soda.
All right, all right.
What do you have there, Kostaki?
I've got a Pacifico. We have a small collection of beers left downstairs. Like at the beginning of the craziness, I went and bought like $400 worth of groceries, about half of which was beer and wine and stuff. And we're coming very close to the end of it now. But for now, still a beer.
I tell you what, grocery stores have been just kicking my butt with fear-based purchasing when you're walking around. I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that. And then I get home, it's like, I needed none of this.
Oh, the last time I went, it's been a while, but the pasta aisle was like, it was hard to believe it was real. There was nothing. You could just look down like 50 yards of empty shelves. It's crazy.
Crazy.
All right, let's go to the game. We'll go to halftime. Josh, I got some scribbling somewhere. Forget what they are. Halftime's at about 6.5 minutes in. So we'll do a stop down and check in on some scores and do some bonus points if need be. All
Was
right,
it snow all game, or did it just start snowing in the middle of the game?
well,
See you very soon.
you
All right.
will see that it is not letting up. This
Nice.
is quite a snow game. All right. Share the screen. Hey, look what I did this time, Josh, because I'm a big boy. I decided not to put the box score on the tabs that I could accidentally
Ah.
put here.
You're learning.
All right.
And Kurt, we got the snow for you.
Saki, can you? Oh, there you go. Maximize.
Down in the city of brotherly love. And
That is max volume there.
The Eagles and the Lions today. Eagles taking the field. And
That looks pretty good. It sounds pretty good too.
Okay, good.
I'll tell you what, it's really hard to root for an eagle.
Yeah, right?
Or as they say, the Eagles.
Look at this snow, boys.
Oh,
Wow. That's beautiful.
It's so cool.
Who has the ball?
Philadelphia got 7 inches in this game, way more than my wife. You know what I'm saying?
There goes Stafford going deep.
what a start. Hey, Keith, you want my quarterbacks?
You know, I have like all receivers, Steven. I'm screwed.
That's right.
Is that
Can
Bell?
Here's you some Joik Bell.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, there's a fumble. We're going to see a lot of that.
And that's more Joik Bell going
Hey, is
back.
that count against Steven for the fumble?
Not if the team recovers it themselves.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Only if you lose it. There's Megatron.
Oh! All right.
There's 1 point.
Check.
Can I
No jacket.
This
substitute
game
my
is
play
white.
for the guy who cleans the numbers?
It's a digital thing that Fox did.
Ah,
I'm surprised Fox doesn't just show the right side of the field. You know what I'm saying? This game is so white.
Not a groove.
It went apple picking.
Don't score. There we go. Good. Wow, they're like ghosts.
they look like ghosts. I can play in a first
George
person.
Bell.
You know, Kostaki, for a visual medium, way to pick a snow game where you can't see shit.
Well, Josh and I were discussing that the technology on Zoom doesn't support it too well anyway. I may as well watch a crazy game.
This is how I used to watch Skinamax back in the day in high school.
Oh, yeah. The Spice Channel.
Yeah.
Skinamax.
We didn't get that.
Good reference.
Here
I
goes.
did look it up this afternoon because I was curious. The
Ooh.
NFL has no rules about stopping games for rain or snow. It's only basically if there's something dangerous, lightning or a hurricane.
That's awesome. I still can't believe the NFL, even though that's a cool policy, they still haven't fixed their OT.
I like the overtime. Oh, there's
There we go.
Calvin Johnson.
Thank
This
you,
is sort of
sir.
the image
Oh,
of
I
this
hate
game.
this.
Look at this
That's
face
key.
mask.
Those are key points.
John Madden would have loved that. Look at the clump of snow in his face.
This game is white. It watched every episode of Friends on Netflix.
What's going on there?
Fumble! Oh, that's ugly.
There were like 6 inches of snow there when the ball fell. That was incredible.
Oh, Stafford airing it out.
I love that they still throw it deep. They're like, screw it.
Yeah.
This game is so white, it went to an ugly sweater party. You think I don't have 50 of these? Think
Oh, you
again.
do. Oh, now you do.
The Fox graphics are actually incredibly helpful with the. Oh, there's an
Yeah, they are.
interception.
Ah,
Nick Foles. Those are negative points for Steven.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
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 First interception of the year for Nick Foles in the
Bum, bum, bum.
This game is so white, it's having a pumpkin spice latte right now. This game is white. It has a moleskin notebook. It's white.
That was a deep cut there, Kostaki.
What is a
It bought a
moleskin
David
notebook?
Sedaris book.
Oh, nice.
just talk pretty.
Joik Bell.
No!
Almost.
Close to the end zone.
Steven, I think you're about to get some points here, brother. Yeah,
There you go.
Steven.
6 for
There you
Steven.
Go. There we go.
That guy's so big, he could be a lineman, man.
He's very bowling ball-esque.
Yeah. Like tackling a big muscle.
Note the irony that he comes over to help put the netting up, and then they go for two because they can't kick.
On for 2.
Oh.
2 more for Joik and 2 for
Who
Matt
was that?
Stafford.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, throw it to the guy you circled. Throw it to the guy you circled. Throw it to the guy you circled. That's get open, guy you circled.
Nate Burleson, good career in broadcasting coming up.
There goes Shady. Nice 15-yard pickup.
Woohoo!
John
Oh,
McCoy.
nice.
LaShawn McCoy. I remember LaShawn McCoy having another snow game. I think it was against the Bills.
Yeah, you're right. I looked at that one. It didn't have as good video, but that's a great game too. Also, didn't have much scoring.
That's his go-to. The snow games he's huge in. Everybody knows that.
This game is so white, it voted for Jill Stein.
Ball at the 24. It's Jackson.
I think this game owns a Prius.
Deshaun Jackson. We're almost to halftime.
All right, paying attention.
So this is 3rd and 12. I think what's interesting here, they don't get the first down. So it's 4th down. They kick a field goal. No. They got to go for it. They can't kick a field goal. It's too white.
That's awesome. It's too much snow on the field. Yeah.
Oh!
Riley Cooper can't come up with it.
No.
So I think we go to halftime
I think that's it. Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's move this. Bring this to here. Whoops, I fast forwarded the game because I'm a knucklehead. Go back to here somewhere. I'll fix it later. And then we stop the sharing.
All right. Are you guys seeing the scores for halftime?
Yeah.
All right.
Bring your face back to us, Josh. We miss you.
Oh yeah.
Quite a
And just so you know,
high-scoring game here.
it shows the no face during the commentary during the game. So maybe the second half we leave your face on and then we compare and contrast for next time.
Yes, that's a great idea. Let me make this a little bigger too for our people at home.
All right.
Whoa, not that big. So yes, it's a barn burner, not a high-scoring game. But we do have Steven with the lead, 8-6.
Woo!
There was actually some serious negative points in the first half. I think Deshaun Jackson had like a minus 10-yard run, so that was minus 1 point. There was a couple interceptions and fumbles, not a lot of touchdowns.
Like an American League baseball game.
I will tell you that, I know a little bit about what's going to go down in the second half, and it's going to be fairly close.
Okay.
But, we could have some opportunities for some trivia questions if you guys want to make a go at
Why
it.
don't we do one each instead of one to the guy who's getting his ass kicked?
Okay.
Since it's even-ish.
We can do the same thing where we give the first guy a shot at it, and then it's one of these situations where we have to name a bunch of players or teams, and then once he's done, we let the other guy try to name them.
That sounds good.
So, I mentioned
play too.
The Bills and Detroit snow game. For some reason, I kept thinking this was the Bills game, but it got me thinking about which teams have never been to the Super Bowl and which teams have never won a Super Bowl.
Oh man.
So let's start with Steven with
All right.
This one will be a little bit tougher, but there's 4 teams that have never been to a Super Bowl. So you got to name as many as you can. As soon as you miss, we're going to give it to Keith to steal.
Oh wow.
There's only 4 of them.
That's tough, man. Because
I think I know 3.
Super Bowl. No, Arizona's been. Is it? Man, I don't think I can pick one right now. Everybody I'm picking is someone who's been.
You can guess.
Well, I was thinking Arizona, but I know they went like 12 years ago or something.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
lost to the
Kurt
Steelers.
Warner.
Yeah. Shit. The Browns.
The Browns are 1.
The Browns. That's the first one I thought of.
Yeah.
Never been.
But I was thinking they might have went in like the late 70s or something.
They
Yeah.
actually won a bunch of championships before there was a Super Bowl. So they have like
okay,
9
yeah.
titles or something, but
And they were good for a while, but they didn't make it all the way.
And I want to say the Redskins, but I feel like I remember watching them as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
John Riggins. All right.
Let's let Keith have a shot to steal some points here.
What do you got, Keith?
Jaguars.
Jaguars is 1.
All right.
Good job, Siri.
Chargers.
Chargers have been to a Super Bowl. They actually lost to the 49ers.
Well, then that shit don't count. Give me the points.
So there's 2 more. Any other guesses?
The Lions are 1, right?
Detroit.
Ooh.
And the other one eludes me. Those are the 3 that I had in my head.
Yep. The other one's a little sneaky. It's the Houston Texans. They haven't been around that long. So
I did think expansion teams. I just darn it, I didn't think them. Oh well.
all right.
All
So
right.
let's go back to similar question. We'll go back to Steven. Or no, we should actually start with Keith on this one, I think. So there's 8 teams. And a couple of them have been named already, so you can't name those. that have never won a Super Bowl but have been in a Super Bowl. So let's see how many of those you can get.
I'd like to start with the Atlanta Falcons, please.
Atlanta Falcons, correct.
That
That's my
hurts.
pick.
0 for 2.
I would also like to say the San Diego Chargers,
Yeah.
Yes, San Diego Chargers.
because I remembered what you said in the last question 20 seconds ago. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, I shouldn't give
You're
you
a
one for
genius.
that, but I'll give you one.
Hey, the old memory doesn't work like it used to, so I'll take that. Let's see, who else? I have to name all 8. Good Lord.
Well, you get 1 point each, so you don't have to. But then Steven's gonna get a chance to steal some.
Yeah, so the teams that were in a Super Bowl. Oh, the Bills.
4
That's
Super
4.
Bowls.
That's worth 4 right there.
4 Super Bowls and never won any of them.
That's
4 in
right.
a row.
Is that 4
Wow.
points?
1 point.
Oh, okay.
Nice try.
That's how the Georgia Tech math is different.
Yeah. Groveling for points is not working. Okay. Let's see. The Browns. No.
So the Browns are in the never made it category.
That's right. See that memory, what I was talking about? All right. Oh, I got a couple points there. Not so bad.
Yeah, so we'll give it Steven for the steal.
Okay, so it's been but never won.
Darn it.
The Oilers?
So
Don't think of
I'm going
Houston.
to give you a point for that because the Oilers are now the Tennessee Titans,
What?
and that counts as a franchise. So I'll give you a point for that one.
Okay.
Oh, boy, that's
I was thinking the Titans actually, but then I was kind of half-heartedly joking about the Oilers.
I like the Oilers as a guess.
Yeah. That was actually would have been one of my other guesses for the previous question. Let's think.
I have 2 guesses when it's my turn.
Man, I'm out. I'm drawing a blank. Go ahead.
Not even a throwing a dart.
I'll throw a dart. Let's see. Carolina.
Carolina's right.
Oh,
That'd
Stupid
be,
Steven.
They lost to the Patriots. I think they just lost to the Broncos.
Yeah.
that's
I'm
right.
out at that point.
All right, Kostaki, any more steals from you?
I'm thinking Bengals.
Bengals are correct.
And I just realized my second guess is not correct.
One was already said in the last round, and then there's only one other left one.
What was said in the last round? We did Chargers.
They lost to the Steelers.
The-
My team.
Oh, the Cardinals. Okay, the Cardinals.
and
the
then
Redskins
there's
won.
There's
There
one.
you go.
I would say they lost a bunch of Super Bowls back in the 70s.
The Cowboys, but they won.
They've won.
They won a gazillion.
Who else lost in the 70s?
Prince's team.
Oh,
Vikings lost
Vikings.
4
So the
games.
Vikings.
They were the Bills before it was cool to be the Bills. I forgot about the Vikings.
yeah.
That's
right.
a good question. I enjoyed that question.
Cool. Yeah, the other ones I have prepared are I think too hard. So I think
You
we're
think?
good. I think we're
Those were the softballs?
Yeah, this was the easy question. It
Okay.
killed almost all 3 of us.
I'm going to give you a softball. Name 8 of anything.
All right, this game picks up dramatically in terms of scoring here in the second half.
Bring it.
All
Hold on to
right.
your seats, everybody. Let's share the screen and get back to this game here.
The officials kind of working blind here today. Foles again with time. He's going to run it for the first time and be sandwiched by Nick Thornton.
This game is so white, it's on the Hallmark Channel.
Eagles 0 for 5.
I forgot about those.
Almost missed that handoff.
This game's so white, it has a Pier 1 credit card.
It looked like LaShawn McCoy
good.
again and get wrapped up
This game
immediately.
thinks Kenny G is jazz.
Season is a double. That's saying something. Foles
I love a Greek man making jazz jokes.
There's a phrase you've never heard before or since. Lions control their own destiny.
Come on. Megatron. That's not Megatron. No, not that guy.
Joy Bell.
Blake Bell is having a heater, man.
Enjoy his 1 fantasy relevant season.
This was it. There's some more Joik action.
Give to McCoy. He's got 64 yards.
That's not helpful.
So-
Come on. Nah.
Comes Shady. Oh,
This game is so white, it gets offended by almost nothing.
more McCoy. McCoy's having a big game for Keith.
Yeah, he's not helping me.
Under center a bunch, hasn't been under center a bunch this season. It's Ross.
This is Jeremy Ross on the return.
Oh, that guy.
Jeremy Ross.
Run, baby.
He's going all the way.
I'm glad he didn't get tackled on the one because that means Bell would have scored some points
That's right.
for my buddy Steven.
Yeah, once he's close, you want him to get on in there.
They really should have had the Lions wear different jerseys.
Come on. Throw it up there. Throw it to the circle guy. Circle guy. Circle guy.
Stafford.
Oh, that's not
Two-point
the
conversion. No good.
No, don't throw it to that guy. Never mind. I'm glad
Nick
that didn't
Foles.
stick up.
There ever was a time for hot pink jerseys.
First down to Sean Jackson. Time for Foles and a lot of it.
Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP.
Oh,
And throw
To
it.
Riley Cooper.
Riley Cooper.
That doesn't make
By
me
the way,
happy.
I looked up Riley Cooper's scandal today to try to remind myself. Do you remember this story?
Nick Foles. Deshaun
Oh!
Jackson touchdown.
Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, I'm on the board. And, of course,
That's-
it's a sister
that's
kid.
7 for Keith
Got
right there.
points too, yeah.
All even.
Going for 2.
Going for 2. That's right. Shady was open.
That ain't it.
Foles couldn't make it happen. Let's hear about the scandal, Kostaki.
Oh, yeah. So Riley Cooper went to a Kenny Chesney concert, and he got into a scuffle with the security guys who wouldn't let him backstage. And he said on camera, "I'll fight every one of you N-words here." Which, not that tough at a Kenny Chesney concert.
Well, at least he said N-words. He didn't actually.
No,
say
he
that
definitely
word.
did not say N-word.
Wow.
There's more. The racist right there, Riley Cooper for 25.
I think for the first time for Philadelphia.
Go. That was a handoff, too. I need all these points. Go.
Deshaun McCoy.
Go.
It's a major point.
Oh!
10 points for LaShawn McCoy. Comfortably putting Keith in the lead.
That's a big run.
So does that mean that they built a statue for Cooper in Philadelphia?
This game is so white, it drinks White Claw.
That's a good new one.
I had to try one.
Riley Cooper famously was Tim Tebow's receiver in University of
Who's
Florida.
that?
Oh,
Yeah, he's a Florida guy. That's right.
I knew I didn't like
I
it.
think that's a 2-point conversion for Ronnie Brown. And here comes some more Jeremy Ross.
Oh, Jeremy Ross.
He should have been on the list.
Get him.
This guy.
Come
Wow.
on, no, fall. Trip.
What's worse than tackling than a place kicker? A place kicker on 7 inches of snow.
What a huge game for the. You wouldn't think returning kicks would be easy in the snow, would you?
I was
Another
saying,
2-point conversion attempt.
Mike
speaking
Bell
of,
was open.
Cheaters.
speaking of tackling, it reminded me, I was thinking about today
David
when we were
Akers.
doing this. What are they doing?
Clear some space for the kicker.
This is like
Oh, I love that.
the famous snowplow thing with the.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's why he got kicked.
Oh, that was
Nice.
great. Can we rewind and watch them clear the snow again? That was great. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's incredible.
Ball's going to throw it. Brad Smith. It's stiff
Holes to Smith.
This game is so white, it keeps asking me if I've ever seen The Wire.
I like that one.
McCoy up the
Oh.
middle.
Or LaShawn McCoy.
Oh, bam!
yards.
Another handoff.
That is I think that might be the dagger for Keith right there.
Whoa, we'll see. Dance a
Game's
little
so
there.
white.
There you go.
This game is so white.
Sean
It's being
McCoy.
a Papathon?
Say it again, Stephen. What was that?
This game is so white it drinks tea sitting in a Papathon? I'll shut up now.
Riley Cooper.
I think that's Riley Cooper.
Oh, the old flea flicker.
No.
That's a pretty gutsy
A wounded
call
duck
there.
right there. That's an example of Stafford killing Megatron right there.
Oh,
Like
McCoy
it.
running
Go,
wild.
go, 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 go. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Getting tons of points.
Was LaShawn ever like a number one fantasy pick overall? He never was, right?
No. He was always good, though.
In the conversation.
No, we don't like this at all. We don't like this at
I
all.
like this.
Oh,
This is where his hammy gets blown out. That's where his hammy gets blown out.
those are 2 points of 20-yard rushing by Nick Foles right there. For Steven.
No. Who's this?
Ronnie Brown.
Get
Look at
back
that.
in the game.
200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Back at the
I hope
one.
he's in the
LaShawn
game.
McCoy.
Could it
Give
be
it to him.
another?
Get in there.
Oh, I think
Oh,
he's down.
stood up.
Come on, blockers.
Philly
What are you
special.
doing?
Do the Philly special.
Falls.
Foles rushing TD. Is it? Will it be enough for Steven?
You needed that, Steven.
You needed to,
No, tell me about it.
at least you kept Shady off the scoreboard on that one. There's a 2-point conversion.
Oh,
Deshaun Jackson. Nope, can't do it.
This game went from no points to lots of points
Yeah.
fast.
Lighten it up.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing better than a snow football game.
Ross.
It is
Ross
so
is going
awesome.
again.
Enough with this
This
guy.
guy.
Oh, Joy Bell.
Good
No.
Look at that
Yes,
hurdle.
I like this.
Oh.
Yeah, he did have quite the game.
If you get hurdled by Joy Bell, you have to run back for a
Oh!
year.
Stafford. Giving it up.
Stafford, terrible play.
Is that minus for me?
That's a minus
Counts
point.
as a -2 a fumble. That's right.
Ah, bastard.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, LaShawn.
I want to say, was Joik Bell's nickname the joystick, or was that somebody else, or am I just crazy?
That doesn't sound familiar to me, but I
I
don't
think I
know.
heard that. Maybe it's somebody else's nickname.
He had such a short chapter of fantasy relevance.
Oh, look at this, Chris Polk for the touchdown.
Yeah,
28.
that's a nice one.
Chris
All
Polk.
right.
This game woke up, man.
And I was thinking about earlier today, Kostaki, do you remember way back in the day when we had an infamous tackle football game and you tackled the crap out of me?
Yeah, with great
That was-
fondness.
Oh, that was a brutal but awesome hit.
That was maybe the highlight of my football career.
Well, number one, you can't call it a career. And number two, it was a great hit. You know, it was one of those hits that my pride hurt and all my friends were laughing at me. But the next play I did score, even though everyone's like, no one remembers that, Keith. Everyone just remembers the hit.
No one remembers this. Selleck to score.
Oh
No!
my God. Brett Selleck.
Selleck
He
slagged
gives it up.
down.
What?
He just wanted to
What?
seal the win, apparently.
What did he do?
What a
One
team.
time he plays,
They were up by a lot. They didn't need the score. And he just slid down.
but I did. That mother.
Sad for you. Sad for you.
Yeah.
That game was so white, it's going to Whole Foods after. All right.
Yeah, that
Oh boy.
the Selleck touchdown would have helped Steven, but not enough for the win.
No.
Congrats, Keith.
Thank you.
Kid.
Pulls now.
What is my prize?
Fill a little bit of the hole in your heart from the tackle from 30 years ago.
You know, it does help a little bit.
Johnson, McCoy, Burleson, useless. Jackson, that's a pretty good lineup. Steven with the two quarterbacks and Selleck, who decided not to score with no one in front of them. Tough break.
I thought he would have been used more.
How
Joy
many
Bell had a hell of a day, actually.
how many points were lost due to fumbles from the QBs there?
I think Stafford had 2 fumbles, so that would be -4 points. And one of the running backs had I think it was McCoy, I think, lost one.
Oh.
So there was a bunch of fumbles that they actually recovered themselves that didn't count against you, but there was fumbles all over the place.
McCoy had a hell of a day. Goodness
He
gracious.
had all those yards, man.
Yeah, it's great. That's great. Well, that's Fantasy Throwback, everybody.
All
It's
right.
fun.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Nice job.
Absolutely, our pleasure.